Hi, my name is Kristen, and my practice is Well Balanced. I often talk to myself and to my clients about changing the way you look at something, and what you look at changes. And I recently went to a grief and trauma certification course to become a trauma specialist. And the woman who was leading it, her name is Dr. Joanne Cacciatore. She gave a great analogy of how she personally deals with her grief. She lost a child about 25 years ago, and how she encourages her clients to look at their grief or their trauma. And so for Joanne, for Dr. Cacciatore, she actually names her grief. And she was describing at our conference, she was describing her grief. Well, first of all, her grief is named Sally or something like that. I actually forgot, but let's say her grief is named Sally. And she even has like a character that Sally is. She has like a long crooked nose, she's hunched over, she walks with a cane. I mean, you get where I'm going. I mean, she kind of makes this very decrepit cartoon character for her grief. So when the grief comes and trauma comes and anxiety and depression come when they want to sometimes. And so when her grief comes, she invites it in. Ah, there you are, Sally, she said. Come, sit down, let's have a cup of tea together. What do you have to tell me today, Sally? Well, then Sally tells her how sad she is that she lost a child, how sad it is that she had to go through this, and how unfair it is, and how hard it is to go through life without her child. And so Sally, the grief, tells Dr. Cacciatore all about it. And she goes, I understand and I honor you, Sally. I honor your grief. I honor where you're coming from. Do you have anything else to tell me? And so Sally will go on if she needs to go on, and then she waits till Sally / her grief is done talking. And then she said, thank you so much, Sally, for coming, but here's the door. I invite you to go to the door, and on your way, I no longer want to listen to those stories of less than or of grief and trauma. I am moving forward in life, but thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you when you come around again. And so she doesn't resist her grief. She invites the grief in. She has a cup of tea with her grief. She names her grief, and then she shows the grief the door when she's done. Me particular in my practice, I often tell my clients, invite your grief, your anxiety, your depression, anything that you're struggling with in, listen to it, right? Honor it, feel it all, give compassion to yourself. And then I tell my clients, show your grief or your trauma or your depression to the light, to God. Thank you so much. I let you go to the light for your journey of healing. And I call on the light for myself for my journey of healing. And so it doesn't matter how you do it, but I think if you can get anything from this quick little video is, don't resist your feelings. They're here to teach you something. Don't resist what's happened to you in the past. It actually can teach you a lot. And it's called a samskara in Buddhism. And so our samskaras come back to visit. And if we push and we wrestle with them and we try to just get them out, then they get stuck in our body, in our mind, in our spirit. But if we invite them to come down and have a cup of tea, and we listen to the story, and we give our grief, our trauma, our compassion, our depression, compassion, and then when we're done listening to the story, do we show it to the door, or do we show it to the light? And so remember, don't resist. Whatever you resist persists. You are a multidimensional feeling human being. You're not going to only feel one way in life. You are going to have moments of deep grief and sadness, shame and guilt and all those things. They are part of our human journey. It's the experience of life. You also, on the same hand, will have wonderful, beautiful experiences of love and happiness and joy. And they quite often go hand in hand. And so this is called life. And yes, we don't like some things in life and we love others. But how do we pick and choose how life presents itself to us? It really just comes. And when it comes, we take it all and we accept, and then we go with joy with the things that we love and the things that bring us joy. We go, wow, that's so great. And we accept the things that come that are difficult, that are teaching us something, that are just part of life, that it really stinks that we have to go through things like this. But again, what we resist persists, and life is a balance of darkness and light. Thank you and have a great day.